Hi guys, it's Debo here. Such is the way with first impressions on patch notes and things like that. End up recording the video, editing the video, uploading it, getting ready to go, and then a whole bunch of information comes out. And 2.4 was no different. With these patch notes, it turned out that there were a few things that did get translated from the Japanese version of the patch notes into the English version of the patch notes. So that's what this video is for, and we'll get right into it, covering those differences. As you can see, first of all, there are a couple seal price things that weren't touched on. Private rank weapons, otherwise known as the stuff at max level-ish, moving in from 30 to 50, those will get a decrease in seals. The big thing here from all the decreases is Keeper's Hymn, the stat allocation reset token, moves from 10,000 seals to 250. So it's incredibly easy, and you shouldn't feel bad about wanting to switch your stats to try something different. I know personally I run Warrior and Black Mage most of the time, so I like to, on Warrior, mess with sliding scale of Vitality to Strength, and on Black Mage, putting a few points of Piety and playing around to see if I can get an extra spell and increase DPS. So that kind of stuff you can do at the ready because it doesn't take 10,000 seals anymore. Also, all philosophy materials are going to be reduced by 1,000 seals per, which kind of makes sense. The philosophy stuff is going out of style, and we're moving on with gear progression. So naturally, it's going to be cheaper now. The achievement rewards weren't in our patch notes, but are actually in the Japanese ones. Dreams of Ice, the title you get for completing the story will be Icebreaker. Uncoiled for defeating, I think the Uncoiled achievement was for defeating 10? Defeating the final coil 10 times. You'll get a title called The Final Witness. Imagine Dragon is the title you get, I assume, for defeating... or actually, no. Imagine Dragon is actually the title you get. Is the achievement for completing the fishing. Big fishing, finally. Or the next big fishing quest that they put in, and you'll get a title of the Dragon's Deep. Go Big or Go Home, the 9 and 10 achievements. Titles are Taikobu, and then you get an item for catching all of the big fish. I assume the Ironworks fishing rod is going to look much different than the rest of them. So finally they're adding something big for fishermen to go for. The new commendation achievements, 1,500 and 3,000. They're pretty insane. For the 1,500, you get the best gown ever. The reward for 500 or like 300 was Paragon's gown, so this is obviously a better gown. Best gown ever. And the 3,000's comms is that parade chocobo whistle. I remember saying on my rundown that it might have been a subscription reward for 2 years. It turns out it's actually 3,000 commendations, which might as well be 2 years of subscription. Out of a bind, the minion collectors are not going to like this one. The Wind Up Louiseau is a reward for beating Coil 13, completing all of the turns of all of the coils. So if you want to collect all the minions, you're going to have to beat all the raid content. Bump on a Log Rogue and Yoshimitsu's Island, respectively, completing the Rogue hunting log, you're obviously going to get the Master Rogue Ring, and completing the Relic gives you the title The Shadow. And a final little iffy change. Remember on the bottom of the ninja abilities there was the Rabbit Medium thing that kind of made no sense and was just completely nonsense, essentially. It turns out in the Japanese translation that is Kochiyos summoning, the summoning technique, if you're familiar. And essentially what that's going to do is, likely, if you fail, you summon a little bunny that does nothing. It's one of those little hits. And that should be it, guys. These are the things I missed and have found out since editing the video. And if you see anything else, let me know. And as always, like and subscribe. And I'll link to the main rundown on this video as well. Goodbye.